I did that on photo rather than video. So hello and welcome to My Mum's Gonna Get You, sucker. So watch it, perhaps. 1988, Wayne's Brothers debut movie. I'm Gonna Get You, sucker. I would have been 12 years old. Shouldn't have been allowed to see the film. Um, was able to get it. I think at this point, this is one of those ones where there was the crossover episode. My brother Mycroft would have wanted to see the film as well. So he would have been able to go and get it because we're still at this ambivalent period, and I'm sure we got it from the other video shop. We had two going on at the time. For those, Jesus Christ. Uh, this is the story of just a Jack Spade returning from war, or rather specifically from the army. He's coming back to any ghetto USA after his brother has OG'd. That's over gold. Um, it's a story where he realizes that the community that he grew up in has been really thrown apart by Mr. Big, the gold dealer, and is able to get bunch of the OGs of black exploitation, um, not just limited to Isaac Hayes, Jim Brown, and Antonio Fargas, to get together to see if they can take down Mr. Big and bring back dignity to any ghetto USA. Um, I my main memory of this film, watching it now, is I can't help but try and premise this with like, where was I? Well, I was in Lambeth, an inner city uh, neighborhood, and I was going to a school, probably Bonneville, which was again at that time maybe Chestnut Grove, technically Lambeth no longer, but still very much a zone two, multicultural, yes, variety of ethnicities and heritages, but in a sort of a nascent way. I would say, it's fair to say that for the vast majority of us, who came under the BAME, myself included, would be second gen, very recent, young second gens. My parents came in the 60s, and my brother was born in 69. I was born in 76. So we're very much 2G OGs. Having said that, my knowledge of black culture in terms of film or in terms of society, frankly, would have been very, very limited. We wouldn't really discuss those things within school. Everyone's family was a family. And still not quite at a thing where you go, oh well, their family's Italian, oh their family's we're just too young for that. Having said that, the urban elements of the film really struck me as, oh my god. I I remembered the slapstick, I remember the real silly elements of it in a vague sense. I forgot how gallows ghetto humor can be. Picking up corpses to take on even more of the bullets. That's just harsh to watch. Um, Watching the urban street hobbies being how fast they can strip a car. That's just tough to watch. People just running out because they were at the wrong funeral. Jesus Christ, why have I hired a dress for this? This stuff is tough to watch. It is raw. It is raw emotion. That is, and it comes from lived experience. I don't think anyone could do that. To play it and to give it the conviction that you need for those scenes, definitely there. Most of it I probably didn't laugh at, but I got. Again, it's the where you are at that time. What really intrigued me, the stuff that would have gone over my head, is that it does not limit itself. The film does not limit itself to this, which is true in most movies, and I think in wider culture, white culture, frankly, um, a gross simplification of the black experience. It makes jokes at the expense of a journalist who comes in and just goes, "I wasn't educated around the blacks there." is a black middle class journalist from the suburbs. See also Amazon Women from the from the Moon, Black Men Without Soul. Jeremiah was a bullfrog and a very good friend of mine. It has the fact that it brings in the original actors of this movement, just reminding you how they could bring such charisma to these roles. Isaac Hayes and Jim Brown particularly stick out for me. But Antonio Fargas, with his character, sort of the variation on his Huggy Bear pimp, genuinely has a moment of pathos because he's come out in his big hat and his platform shoes out of jail, just to be laughed at by the contemporary street hoods of the 1980s. It's kind of sad to watch a king lose his crown in such a fashion, yet he's able to snap it back with a very almost, I believe the term would be a sapeur um, styling of fashionistain towards the end. Our lead by Wayne's as well. It would have been very easy. He's a muscular guy, he's a handsome guy. He's obviously looked after himself, but they keep the dynamic with the mum there. Mum is all powerful. The matriarchy of Ghetto Mama is pretty much there. I wonder if they did approach Pam Grier. I wouldn't be surprised. It's but all of his badges and all of his stuff that he has is very much more Boy Scout than Army medals. In fact, it's that sort of man-child innocence of that. It reminds me of Captain Marvel in a sense, in that he has all the attributes to be a classic action hero. Yeah, a la Black acting school, but his innocence and his hero worship is tantamount to Billy Batson. It has enough slapstick in it to have kept me entertained, enough silly voices and camping it up, which I suppose can be dubious in some ways. But for me now, just made me realize sometimes you want a bit of fantasy in your urban reality. Not to tread on Shiana Mivel's toes there. It's a really strong piece. I do think that the jokes sadly don't have a particularly high hit rate, but they're consistent. It's kept its tone, and I can totally see why they went on to do Scary Movie. They don't try and scattergun every little sketch in. What they do is they cram everything into that narrative. It's totally worth a watch, both in terms of black cinema, in terms of comedy, and just in terms of depictions. I think it really is uh, a worthwhile catch. Is this something that I'll be going over much more? Well, I think the Waynes, you know, have basically had their own success. I'm not really a fan of white chicks, um, but this really is laying the ground for everything that comes after, and the fact that it's doing it at a point where you can hire those who came before that were inspiring it. Ironically, that it's parodying and satirizing shows that one of the things community and heritage can give you in terms of bringing a voice is never think you're a unicorn. Always remember that you stand on the shoulders of giants, because if you do, whatever you create will exceed your grasp and outreach with the next generation. So that's it from me. Probably a bit earnest for a film where a woman just throws her own tits at a man and says, "They're not even the right color." Oh, fuck me, it was funny. Like and subscribe.